reason I picked Cool as Ice is just because the inner sadist in me just loves to cause pain to others. That makes me happy, and I find that funny. But besides that, it's a terrible movie, and I think everybody should be aware of it.
You know when I pick a movie, that's when I'm under pressure now. The question always comes back to me, what were they thinking now? Whoa, what were they thinking? What were they thinking?
All right, stop. Collaborate and listen. Ice is back with the brand new invention.
We want to know, what were they thinking? Oh, sorry.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
I tried to theme it.
I didn't want to have to pay the estate of David Bowie and Freddie Mercury $100.
What are you talking about? That's an original piece of art right there.
Well, I had the arguments about when that they presented in court as to why it was slightly different and didn't apply to the lawsuit by them.
We could do a whole.
He's like, no, it goes up just at the end, so it's totally different.
Yeah.
And the judge was like, nope.
The next court case the judge dealt with was the one where Sylvester Stallone wanted to put his name on the book of Cobra.
Yeah.
No, I wrote the screenplay, so basically I wrote the book now. Vis-a-vis math. Oh boy. We're in week 3 of Listener's Choice. We're just over the halfway mark. Of course, last week we talked about the dentist, and this week we are talking about Cool as Ice. By the way, my name is Brendan.
And I'm Nathan.
And this is What Were They Thinking, of course, where we talk about bad to questionable movies, and that's what we're talking about this week. The introductions are all out of order, but deal with it. Deal with it. It's warm out. There was just a thunderstorm. Everyone's upset. Cool as Ice, starring, of course, Vanilla Ice.
Robert Van Winkle.
And also a few familiar faces. I mean...
Oh my goodness, there's so many.
The dad from Family Ties.
Yeah. Or Tremors.
Yeah.
If you're Steve and Izzy.
That's right. I mean, if they probably know Family Ties too.
They probably know Tremors better.
I would hope so. No, they only know like Tremors 5 Bloodlines or something.
I think he's in that one.
Whatever the 9th terrible sequel is or something.
Oh man! And then the dude from who was the captain on Rescue Me.
Oh, okay.
He's one of the baddies.
Okay.
Yeah. The school secretary from Grease.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So
Naomi Campbell.
Well, don't get too used to Naomi Campbell being in this movie, folks.
No.
But this is Cool as Ice. This came out in 1991, I believe.
I think so.
Yeah. I believe this is around the time when Vanilla Ice appeared on Saturday Night Live, so I'm assuming that's what he was promoting.
Actually, that's might not even possibly be, because this movie, if I remember correctly, I heard about it coming out, but I don't remember ever seeing it anywhere. Because I was a big Vanilla Ice guy back in the day, and had this come around, I guarantee you I would have went to see it. Well, but I think it got like 0 play.
Oh, well, this is the thing. This is almost a small screen shameful episode. This movie only played in it almost had a limited run. It didn't quite have a limited run, but it almost did. It was pulled from a bunch of theaters basically because when they were set to release this movie, Vanilla Ice had almost completely fallen off the radar.
Yes.
He was really on the downswing of his career. He hadn't started building houses yet. And the rap was essentially over at this point.
Yeah, he was, let me see here, 91? Yeah, because there is a line on his live album. Yes, he has a live album where he says the following line: 89 is my time, and 90 is my year.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to think, okay, so he released a live album, which would have come out after, like, To the Extreme, which was like his big album. So if this came out in 91, yeah, he was just getting ready to drop right off the radar. So much so that his next studio album, Mind Blown, he's rocking some dreadlocks and singing about weed.
Yeah, his career took a decided turn after this. This movie, as a fairly small budget, this cost $6 million to make, which I still don't see where that went, unless it was all given to Vanilla Ice.
It was actually, I think about at least $1 million was dedicated to overall budget. And I don't mean the budget overall, I mean the overalls that he wore in this movie.
I was going to say they must have paid for the warehouse space too.
And Naomi Campbell.
Yeah, there you go. At the box office, I have the numbers here. Do you know how much it made at the box office?
Oh, like I said, $3.
So cost $6 million to make, and it made worldwide $1.2 million.
Damn.
That is a biggity bomb.
Oh, wow. Not even a quarter of its budget.
No, and that is a small budget.
Yeah.
For a movie like this, imagine this come out 2 years earlier. It probably would have made at least 25. Yes.
Had this come out, I would have said in like early 1990, it probably would have done considerably better.
And Vanilla Ice has gone on record to say that he was given a lot of money to do this movie, and he just kind of went, okay. Because he was
anybody would
spending it left and right. Not good with his money, much like his rival MC Hammer. But this movie begins, Nathan, I would say, with just a music video in an empty warehouse.
Yes, I actually have my note here. Is this a video shoot or a day rave?
Oh, should we talk about what this movie is? It's The Wild One starring Marlon Brando, but with Vanilla Ice.
Oh, see here, I thought it was Rebel Without a Clue. Cause.
I wrote that down at first, but then I read that, like, Vanilla Ice is... There's interviews where he talked about how he watched The Wild One with Marlon Brando, and I'm like, that's what he's doing.
Yeah, because the whole, what are you rebelling against? What do you got?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And the whole, like, motorcycle gang comes into town. So basically, yeah, he's in a dirt bike gang. And they come into town, and their dirt bikes break down. And while he's in town, he falls in love with this girl who is dating this douchebag. And meanwhile, there's also the mafia and witness protection in there, and that blew my mind. I totally forgot about that aspect.
The thing about this movie is I have seen it a few times over the years, and every time I sit down to watch it, I forget how absolutely ridiculous it is.
It is bananas. It's crazy. So, yeah, the opening is a music video. I believe it's of the title song, Cool as Ice.
Yep.
Featuring Naomi Campbell, and that's all she does.
Yep. In fact, her credit is singer at the first club.
Yeah.
That's her credit.
She just sings with him, and that's it. And then I think I'm gonna say,
I love that he's rocking a Miami Hurricanes hat that still has the price tag on it. Like he's fucking Mini Pearl.
Well, yeah, because the production team was like, we need to take that back when you're done with it. We've only got, you ran out almost our entire budget. We've got like $20 to pay for wardrobe.
We got to recoup the $6 million that we're spending on this thing.
I also think, and I'm just going to put out a theory here, I think they forgot to turn the cameras off after the video was rolling. Was done shooting, because then it just looks like awkward, like, we're done shooting the video, everybody's slowly just shuffle away,
shuffling out. I noticed as I was watching it, and moreover listening to the opening, because again it's just a music video. I don't know if I misheard this lyric or not. I didn't bother to look it up, but I think there was a line that said, "The gays are amazed."
Yes, because I have that written down as well.
Okay,
did he just say that all the gays are amazed, as in like they're so blown away by how hot he is? That's my exact wording.
I'm guessing if that is it.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can find the soundtrack because I guarantee you the lyrics will be.
One thing I noticed during this opening is that the director of photography, his name is Janis Kaminski. Now, this fella, 2 years after this movie, was the director of photography on a little movie called Schindler's List. And in fact,
that's fantastic.
And in fact, since Schindler's List has been Steven Spielberg's DOP on virtually every film. So
wow.
2 years before he was making amazing, just wonderful, beautiful landscapes and sweeping shots, he was doing Cool as Ice.
I will say this. The movie definitely has a style to it. Technicolor vomit might be a good way to describe it.
There's definitely a specific aesthetic to it.
Yeah. And it changes quite often, actually, because when you were, well, we'll get to all the different people who are in the town that he ends up visiting for no reason whatsoever.
I'm convinced, by the way, that the music video stuff was shot last, and that's why it's so barren. Like, it's just a warehouse with a fan. I really think they ran out of money.
Padding it?
Padding it, and I also just think they had no money left.
Okay.
Like, so how do you want a set deck? Can you get in here? Yeah, we got this fucking industrial fan. Guys, that's already part of the warehouse. Well, then we got nothing.
The lyric is, all that gays are amazed.
Oh.
That's the lyric.
Well,
so everybody who's watching is amazed.
Well, that's not as good.
No.
I was hoping he was just talking about how
I was hoping he'd be like super progressive.
That all the gay people loved him.
Yeah.
He's like a regular Judy Garland. So first of all, first thing gonna notice. So he has his like posse, his dirt bike crew, the DBC.
Yes.
They make surrounding himself by these guys makes him look even whiter.
Yeah.
And you know they're riding around town, and I think that they come up on this lovely young lady riding a horse, and Vanilla Ice almost indirectly kills her.
Is this a reference to like almost like Top Gun or something?
See, I said Top Gun in my head, but I want to say Hot Shots. Because all I could think of is Charlie Sheen doing those ridiculous tricks. Yeah.
Yes, he jumps a fence and nearly kills her because she's thrown from her horse. And then when he goes to see if she's okay, she reaches out and cracks me. He's like, "What's that for?"
I don't know. Maybe the fact that she almost died?
Yeah.
Literally falls off a horse and he's like, "Oh, come on, girl." And he even says, like, "You hit pretty good for a girl."
Oh.
And then she's like, "You're just some macho biker." I'm like, "Oh,
nope."
What?
No, I guarantee you the local Hells Angels chapter would have something to say about that.
Macho biker.
Because every macho biker says, yup.
And wears a jacket that looks like they made it in their basement.
Oh my god, the fucking jackets in this movie.
Oh, so good. So he continues on. That's just a little hint of the romance that is about to come later. He enters into, I'm going to say, a cartoon house.
Well, actually, okay, let's, I think at first they drive down to Main Street. And I hear you can only do that so many times.
Down on Main Street.
These manicured trees that line the boulevard that look like butt plugs.
Oh yeah, they all. I honestly wrote down at this point. I was like, they're entering the Stepford Wives universe.
Yes, and one of his, because it can't be Vanilla Ice's bike. It has to be one of his crew. It can't be his bike that's acting up. But I was under the impression that his bike was tripping because they only said it conservatively 20 times.
Isn't that crazy? You know, I never even thought about it, but you said it couldn't be Vanilla Ice's bike that's tripping, that like, you know, that broke down or whatever. If you watch interviews with him, or especially around this time, at least once every interview he mentions how he was like a world dirt bike champion or something.
He did do motocross apparently when in his younger days.
He did, but I'm pretty sure some of the stuff he's talked about has been like discovered to not be entirely truthful.
Oh, you want if we could Stephen Izzy for a second and just take a bit of a tangent, they released a biography of him when he was popular, and it was supposed to be an autobiography. At least that's how they promoted it. It was not, and it had all these just salacious claims in it, which later were found to be absolutely 100% fabricated.
Yeah.
His dirt bike prowess, as well as the time he was assaulted and stabbed 14 times.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I actually do remember that thing about being assaulted. Also, if you want to see a hilarious interview, look up Vanilla Ice Arsenio Hall. It is the most uncomfortable chemistry I've ever seen between two people.
Well, you gotta understand. I mean, at the time, rap was predominantly in black culture. Mm-hmm. So what happened was he just kind of flashed in the pan, and it was a whole Elvis type situation. Not saying that Vanilla Ice is as gifted as Elvis was, but that he took music that had been struggling for years to try to kind of find a foothold in mainstream society and popular culture, and he just boom, he was there at the top of the charts.
Yeah.
Not unlike the first rap single to make it to the top of the charts was by Blondie.
Yeah, Blondie, rapper extraordinaire.
Yep. The name of the song was Rapture. Actually, so yeah.
Shit, play on words. Fucking right, Blondie.
So I guess this is, and it also kind of course, was fueled by the supposed feud between him and MC Hammer,
who I'm under the impression that apparently you don't want to fuck with in real life.
Well, I mean, they indeed ask that you do not hurt him. He's often asked that actually, or told not to hurt anybody.
Yes.
He had some weird stuff too. Like he had an album before he hit big called Funky Headhunter, which was a lot harder than. Oh no, Funky Headhunter came after. That was like his third album. That was a lot harder. And he had another one that was before that, which was a lot more, more straightforward rap as opposed to pop rap. But then Please Don't Hurt Him Hammer came out and it hit, and we were off to the races for a few years with pop rap, with the likes of him, Vanilla Ice, and Maestro Fresh Wes, and Snow. So we could have the Canadian contingent, Snow and Maestro Fresh Wes being the MC Hammer and Vanilla Ice counterparts.
Listen, I don't know a lot about MC Hammer other than obviously the famous songs that he's done. Mm-hmm. But I do know of a story. I don't even remember what musician it was, but apparently they said something to piss him off, and somebody took them aside and said, "You need to go apologize to him right now. He will fuck you up."
It must have been like way back, because after he kind of wrapped up things with as far as music goes, he became he's like a minister or something now.
Oh, he's. I mean, yes, but apparently he is like a tough guy. Like if you approach him and like physically strong.
Well, dude, you don't grow up in Oakland being a pussy.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, cool as ice.
Cool as ice.
Yeah, so this house that they stopped by to get their bike fixed has a giant world map as a roof. And it's run by what I'm assuming is the same character, because it's the actor who played Mr. Chestwick in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Mm-hmm. So I'm guessing he finally got out of that place and is running his own repair shop. Yes,
I actually thought I thought at first that it was like Pee-wee's parents, yeah. Pee-wee Herman's parents, or Weird Al's relatives or something. Because
they did have some weird artwork, so it might be Pee-wee's parents.
Yeah, there you go.
But yeah, so they're basically like, yeah, we'll fix your bike, and
we can fix any bike, and then they all he got is Chilton manuals. Chilton tried to fix this, apparently. A bike that costs more than their house.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then we get our first of approximately 8 million montages.
Where they're driving around town and
this is the one where they're like, there's like one of them is like poking at some eggs. One with a giant salt shaker. This is basically like a hipster artist house.
Yeah, it was definitely weird. There was a guy who was making a peanut butter and pickle sandwich. I was on board with that. I was on board with peanut butter and pickles, and then he added sardines and mustard, and I was like, no, thank you, sir.
That was That was almost as disgusting as last week's movie.
But peanut butter and pickles, fantastic. I recommend trying it out.
Yeah, I mean, there was a burger joint out here that since closed down, but it served like a burger called the Elvis, and it was peanut butter, banana, and pickles, and it was delicious.
Nice.
Yeah. But yeah, the sardines is a deal breaker.
And the mustard, too.
Oh, it's disgusting. Horrible. Honestly, though, the biggest shock for me was probably that this repair shop is right in the middle of suburbia.
I guess.
It looks like it's right across the street from that girl's house.
Well, no, they're not that close. But they're not far from it because, the town itself is quite small. So much so that when the first time that they rolled through town, everyone has to stop and stare. I'm assuming because this is the first time they've seen minorities.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Judging by the way this town looks, most assuredly you are correct, sir. Ah!
Yeah. Yep. Thank you.
I've been drinking, Johnny.
That's to be understood, Ed.
Yes.
So, cool as ice.
Yeah, so Kathy. We meet Kathy.
Okay, I have to ask a question. Vanilla Ice, he's going to meet up with. He wants to meet Kathy, doesn't he? Is this the scene that coming up here? And he just rolls up and he doesn't have a shirt on underneath his jacket. Because I have a note here that says, "Put a goddamn shirt on."
Yeah, it's when he rolls up while she's arguing with her boyfriend Dick. Oh, sorry, I mean Nick. You ain't wasting my time. I'm just cooling.
Just cooling. Oh my god.
Drop that zero and get with a hero.
That line. I knew that line when, oh my god, because when they were going into production on this movie, it was on like Entertainment Tonight or Inside Edition or one of those Inside Entertainment shows, and they actually showed this clip where he was like, yeah, drop that zero and get with the hero. And at the time, I thought that was great. At 42, I'm like, oh my fucking Christ.
Yeah, it's not the most badass line.
No, not in the least.
And then, of course, he does that. Yeah, he does that whole thing where he's like, "See you later, Dick," and the guy's like, "It's Nick," and he's like, "Oh yeah, I forgot." By the way, the argument they're having, Kathy and her boyfriend, are like, he's trying to tell her to go to the same college as him, I think, because he's like, if we go to different colleges, you'll probably meet someone else.
Yeah, because he wants her. Obviously, he wants her to go to the same college so he can stay. He can kind of keep controlling her and whatnot. But at first, other than that, you see this and you're like, okay, well, he's just Corey. He wants his girlfriend to go to the same college, and you find out much later that he is awful. Yeah. But at first, it seems like you know what? I think Vanilla Ice is the villain here.
Granted, he does turn out to be a bit creepy.
Well, just a little bit. Just a little.
But Vanilla Ice commits it. I think his first crime of the movie is that he steals Kathy's book.
Yes.
He calls it her black book. As if
hold on a second. Let's. If we're gonna start breaking down the crimes that this fella commits in this movie, we have.
Did we skip one?
The whole. Driving with undue care and reckless endangerment.
Okay, sure.
Because he jumps the fence and nearly kills her by having her thrown from the horse.
Shooting a music video with Naomi Campbell, but not being attracted to her.
I'd assume that that's not necessarily a crime, but I figured that they were more than likely shooting without a permit.
Yes.
And then he steals from her.
He does. Okay, my first big question comes up now. Because so Kathy is in her house. We meet her family, so her dad, her mom, her little brother, and they're watching Kathy on TV.
Oh, before that, they apparently star in a Sega commercial.
Oh, by the way, every game sound, they combine Mario 2 and Mario 3 sounds.
I only heard Mario 3.
Sorry, Mario 3 and Mario 1. I believe they combined them. Like, I don't know. As far as my memory goes, it sounded like they were combining different games, and I was very upset.
No, it sounded all Mario 3 to me. They were off, though. I mean, because there's at one point where you hear like a do-do-do, do-do-do-do, and then it just immediately jumps in do-do-do-do-do.
See, that's the thing. I thought I heard the Mario 1 castle and then the Mario 3, one of the Mario 3 levels.
Either way, he was playing a Mario game, and they were able to get Mario sounds. So take that, Evil Pong.
Oh, fuck that movie. Holy
Putting
shit.
it on blast now.
Oh, please do. That movie is horse shit. But yeah, so... Okay, why is Kathy on TV? I'm not sure about this.
I'm guessing it's because she's getting scholarships to go to Ivy League schools.
But that's enough to get on the news?
Local news. I mean, look at the size of the town.
I mean, I guess. But like, why aren't they talking about the butt plug trees like you talked about?
Well, I'm assuming that that was a story earlier in the broadcast, because I mean you save the human interest stories for the end of the episodes of the news. You send people off from the news, feeling good about themselves. No one talks about the weird pervert on the loose who's creating sculpted butt plugs on Main Street out of the topiaries.
I would have loved if like when they saw Kathy on the news, it like made it clear that it was the first story.
Breaking news.
This girl is going to college.
Successful suburban white who rides horses is going to be even more successful.
What? Also, like, and then of course they're watching her, and then her dad is on TV. Family Ties is on TV, and as we quickly learn, he's in witness protection. And I'm like, why would you allow yourself to be filmed?
Right. My actual note here is you could have just said no.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you could have just listened to Nancy Reagan.
Yeah,
and said no.
All you had to do is, we'd like to get an interview with you for your. I'm not comfortable with that. I can't.
Yeah, I don't want to be on camera.
Yeah.
Done.
That's it.
Because that is
go interview her teachers.
Yeah, exactly. Because that is like the crux, and you can tell. The worst part is, I think you can tell that he's like casually, subtly hiding himself,
trying to obscure his face
like,
when he's talking on camera.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
On the news, and then of course we see that these mafia types, or not mafia types, I guess they're crooked cops.
Were they? As I wasn't totally sure.
I thought they were cops that got I thought they were former cops that got fired because of corruption, because he exposed them or whatever.
Well, see, that's the thing. They never make it super clear as to what these guys are. It's like it could have been that the cops went away and these mob guys lost a bunch of money because of it. And of course, I mean, that was my only thought, because they didn't strike me as police officers, because they had no what I mean. Michael Gross really didn't show he had too many tactical training to himself either. So
Michael Gross did not appear to be a former police officer either.
There was at one point in the movie where I was like, oh my god, if this were any other movie, this would be a total straw dog situation where the unsuspecting nerdy guy becomes like this total badass, straight just murking people left and right.
Wait, are you suggesting a movie wherein Dustin Hoffman plays Vanilla Ice's role?
No, I'm suggesting a movie in where Dustin Hoffman plays Michael Gross's role.
Oh, shit, because I would like to see both. I would like to see Dustin Hoffman play dual roles, but that would make it so much weirder.
Well, you look an awful lot like my dad, but sure.
I guess it's a weird, dad complex thing.
They call it an Electra complex, actually.
Oh, Electra. Wait, Jennifer Garner's in this film?
She's the mom.
Oh, we're getting way off the rails. I think we go back to the... don't they call him or something?
Well, okay, so
The mafia dudes are like,
here.
"Hey, look who's on TV! See?"
Yes. Actually, what do I got here? I have the She was looking for her book.
Yeah.
And because she knows now that it's missing, and she's trying to retrace her steps, and she says, "I had it over at Nick's, but I didn't touch it." And that's when the little brother giggled. That's my note, because I thought that was funny too.
He's like, didn't touch it.
Yeah. This movie is an absolute assault on the eyes in regards to color.
Oh my god.
Then yes, the dude from Rescue Me recognizes Michael Gross. Vanilla Ice utters the line, "I'm going to schling a schlong." This all happened.
This all happened in the movie.
I have, good Lord, he's a fashion disaster, because he goes over to meet Kat, or to see her. Her mother answers the door, and he's standing there leaning in with a shoulder that has the word sex emblazoned upon it, because he's wearing that Down by Law jacket.
Yeah, and okay, we should talk about this, because Vanilla Ice is all like, "Where's Kathy at?" And the kid goes, "She's at the Sugar Shack," which is a hilarious name.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Okay, I'm going to go down there." And the mom, not even for a second, is like, "Should I report this?" Like, this strange...
Well, not even that. He leaves their house and then goes and immediately talks to the mob guys, because apparently it's a no-hour flight from New York to wherever the hell they are.
Yeah, no, see, what you can do is you can ask for coach, you can ask for first class, but you can also ask for plot convenience seating.
Oh, okay.
So that gets you to where you need to go, like, whatever is convenient to the movie.
I hear pre-screening comes with that too.
Yeah. It's a bonus. That's what you get.
Yeah. So I think the one of the bigger things that has got me is the whole Down by Law jacket, because I mean, not only are they referencing a better movie, but there's also a punk band by that name.
Okay.
And it's like, you are not. Oh my God, where do you get off? He must live near a bus station.
So you're saying like Vanilla Ice is punk to the extreme?
Oh God, no.
He rocks the mic like a vandal.
And also another punk band, so the Vandals.
So yeah, he briefly asks the mafia dudes who are like staking out the house, which by the way, Family Ties.
Staking out the house.
Yeah, I knew you were. I fucking saw that coming.
Sorry.
Which by the way, I'm like, Family Ties. Just call the police and tell them there's people that are clearly waiting outside your house for you.
Yeah.
But Vanilla Ice talks to them, and then Family Ties sees it, and he's like, "Oh my God, he must be one of the mafia guys.
He must be with them, yeah."
And I'm like, "What?"
And they give him directions to the Sugar Shack. He calls them Schlocks.
Yeah.
And then he goes to the Sugar Shack, which I was expecting something entirely different.
Oh yeah, I was expecting a brothel.
That illusion aside, I was expecting more of like a keen teen diner.
Oh, from the 50s.
Yeah.
Like one that like Shia LaBeouf might visit from Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
Sure, there you go. But no, it's
the
apparently
best Indiana Jones film of all time.
He visits what I think is it's a roadhouse, where a young Joe Rogan is playing like with his band, and they're singing like psychedelic rock and roll, and the teens are awkwardly dancing. But so the teens in the crowd look like 50 squares dancing, but the guys singing are dressed like a 60s or 70s psychedelic prog rock band, and the whole aura that's happening within the Sugar Shack is just skeezy 80s bar like that you would have seen in like Rhinestone.
Yeah. Oh God, coming soon. There's so many things. There are so many different eras clashing in this Sugar Shack.
Yes.
And I love how Vanilla Ice immediately when he sees that guy singing, he's like, "Fuck this dude!" Like basically.
Oh my God! And I don't know. It's so goddamn ridiculous. It's like, yeah, we're just gonna unplug the band, plug in our equipment, which we didn't have.
No.
When we came in, and just start dancing and busting around. I will say this: I was really starting to get on board with the soundtrack for this movie. When the slow jam came on, though, I was immediately off the board.
That actually made me laugh the most.
That was worse. What's the name of the song he does? Is People's Choice?
Oh, yeah. He says on the People's Choice. There's also a line here while he's rapping. He says, "Go take a nap, get off the crack, Jack."
Okay. His solid life advice from Vanilla Ice.
His backup singers, by the way, are terrible. And also, this is the point where they really amp up like how awful Dick is. Sorry, I mean Nick.
Yeah.
Because he's the girl. What's her name? Kathy.
Cat.
Yeah, Cat. She doesn't drink. And he says, whatever. Brings in his own alcohol, and then starts calling her a slut.
Yes.
And he says, and of course you don't drink, so that's not your excuse. And I'm like, whoa.
I actually have underlined, now we can hate Nick.
Well, and then he says, because he tries to kiss her, and she says, don't. And the line is literally, all you say lately is don't. You are a rapist.
A bit of a harsh take on that one.
Well,
but,
I mean, all you say is don't? Like, that's... oof. If that's your takeaway, Nick... At least he's at least a sexually aggressive young man.
Yes. Well, I mean,
against one's will. Technically rape.
Did they ever say what university he was going to? Because I bet it was Duke.
I think you're right.
Okay.
But yeah, he's like, you were all flirting with him and shit. Like, what's wrong with you? And she's like, well, I'm gonna go home because I don't want to get assaulted in your car. And she starts walking home by herself. And
it was really nice of the street sweeper not to like just totally hose her down as he was driving by. And then Thomas of Finland shows up to drive her home. Oh wait, it's not Thomas of Finland, it's Vanilla Ice in his biker leather.
He's like, quick, get on my dirt bike.
Oh my God. No, he just drives her home, and they, for some reason, Groove is in the Heart is on the soundtrack. It's like one of the really bright spots about it. But she's like, whatever, I think you drove me home. That's whatever. See you later. Bye. And he's like, dissed again.
Yeah, he's getting ice cold balls.
Yeah.
But yeah, because like the dad comes out, and again he thinks Vanilla Ice is in the mafia somehow.
Yes.
Even though, like, again, he was talking to them, but like, come on.
They frame that much worse later, but we'll get to that.
Oh, okay.
This is where Nick jumps him at the at another bar or something?
Oh no, he goes to Dick and the Balls. Go to the cartoon house, the cartoon repair shop, and start like beating the fucking bikes with baseball bats.
Yeah.
And Vanilla Ice shows up, and he's like, "Those are my bikes, dog."
Mm-hmm.
And they have like a classic like dust 'em up here.
Yeah, and it's nice for all of his gang to agree to fight Vanilla Ice one by one.
Yes, I love that. The classic,
and to let him recover every time they take a shot at him.
The classic like foot soldiers. Wait till the guy before you was done.
Now, you said it was at the cartoon house, but there were two people who just like stood up on the porch and watched.
Was it?
But it wasn't Pee Wee Herman's parents.
But it must have been the cartoon house because that's where all the bikes were.
Well, I mean, only one bike was out of commission.
But I thought that's the one they attacked because then later that's why later they're like, oh, it's going to be delayed even more now.
No, that's because they're inept and they took the whole thing apart because they have the line, like I always said, you can't put something back together if you haven't taken it apart.
Oh, okay.
So,
well, I take it back. Everything's flawless. But there's a big socias and greasers fight here.
Oh my God.
And
thanks for the Outsiders reference.
No problem. Got it in.
It wasn't even them.
Nope.
It wasn't even that Outsiders.
But shortly after this, Kathy wakes up to ice cubes being melted into her mouth. See, this was the part of the movie where I was like, he's a bit creepy too.
When she gets up and she has to wipe her chin.
Yeah, and Vanilla Ice is just laying in her bed, just holding an ice cube over.
So
her.
There's breaking and entering. Trespassing as well, because the window to her room is around back, so he had to come fully onto the property.
Listen, gentlemen listening, if you're not in a relationship with someone, don't surprise them by laying in their bed and dripping ice cubes into their mouth while they're sleeping.
Yeah.
Even if you are in a relationship with someone, make sure that's established as something they have no problem with you doing.
She at this point she snatches away his wallet because he was there to return her organizer. Because she called him out on it at the 50s, 60s, 80s club.
Yes.
And
all decades allowed.
Yes, exactly. And she's looking at his license and she says, "Oh, John Van Owen." I was like, that's a dig at his real name, isn't it?
Oh yeah, Robert Van Winkle. Yeah.
Robert Van Winkle.
Oh, yeah, he should have just went with that as his rap name.
Because RVW. I mean,
yeah.
I think I would have been fine with that.
Robert Van Winkle. Nothing rhymes with Winkle.
Nothing rhymes with Van Winkle. Stop. As I tie my laces.
Sorry, that's my Jim Carrey.
You're Jim Carrey. I get it.
Yeah.
I remember it was on In Living Color. This is when Kat's little brother kind of barges in during their whole exchange, and he wants to go on a bike ride with Vanilla Ice.
Well, because Dick won't take him on one.
Right. And he says, "I'll take you soon." He's like, "When you guys are done making sex."
And I'm like, get that shit kid out of the room.
And here's where I thought Vanilla Ice's overalls was a fanny pack. At first.
So you thought instead of a rapper, he was a 90s wrestler?
Well, here's the thing.
Got it in.
You did. And also, they wwere atrocious then, and they're atrocious now.
You suck then, and you suck now.
Absolutely. I can still remember the last time I was involved with a wrestling show. It's still given old Crafty the gears for his fanny pack. And then 3 other guys walked in. I was like, you all look fucking ridiculous.
A bag is not that hard to carry, guys. Come on.
No. They're fucking Zubas and fanny packs. Good Lord.
Are you Lex Luger?
So, okay. He's wearing these overalls and with the bib and everything down and then clasped, obviously, so the things that are supposed to stay up over your shoulders aren't constantly swinging around and hitting other people.
Mm-hmm.
The style, if I remember at the time, was actually to wear one strung up and the other laying loose.
Yes, you're right.
Yeah, and he wears them with both down, and like I said, I think he's wearing a fanny pack. And then Patty pointed out to me that no, they're overalls, but they're both down. And she's like, "How are his pants staying up?" It's very clear that Vanilla Ice has childbearing hips.
Yes,
it's the only explanation.
I mean, there's no fancy belts. There's no unless he's using a glue gun.
Oh, right? No, who does that? No one uses glue in overalls. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But he doesn't take the little brother on a motorbike ride. He takes Kat on a motorbike ride.
Well, first,
and like the trollop that she is, she does not ride side saddle.
Well, and before that though, Nathan, we have to say he does fight his greatest foe yet.
Diction?
The sprinkler system.
Oh.
And diction is second, yes.
Diction, yes.
But he does take a dirt bike ride with Kathy, which is not meant to sound like a gross thing. I apologize. But
and it becomes even grosser, especially when they pull up and there's that pile driver there going boom, boom. I was like, is this symbolism?
Oh my god, and it's the worst. By the way,
you could tell that the DP went on to make Schindler's List by that shot alone.
It's the worst foreshadowing too, right?
Yeah,
because it comes up later. But they have this like conversation where he's all like, "What's it like having a family and junk?"
Yeah,
and she goes, another great exchange is she's like, "Where are you from?" And he's like, around. And she goes, "Around? That doesn't tell me that much." And he goes, "Doesn't it?"
Oh God, the Vanilla Ice philosophy in this movie is just mind bending.
Well, and this is, I think, where he got the idea for his home building show, because they start flirting and chasing each other around at the site of a house being under construction.
You want to hear the fun way he actually got involved with the whole home renovations thing?
Oh my God.
Losing his house.
Oh no, that's actually the saddest thing ever.
What happened was, well, I mean, he made like an ass ton of money. Well, the money that didn't go to Freddie Mercury, David Bowie, and Suge Knight, if the rumors are to be believed.
Wait, are you saying that he didn't spend his money responsibly?
Oh, not in the least. However, I will say that the money that he got off of this, he can't blame Suge Knight for taking, because he only took the Ice Ice Baby money. Again, allegedly. So yeah, apparently when things were just bottoming out for him, he had to sell a domicile or two, and he wanted to get top dollar for it. So that's how he got into home renovation.
Wow.
And so by the time he sold the houses that he had to help rebound from his financial crisis, he'd actually gotten into flipping houses for a profit. He is a subtle and nuanced individual who just needed some time, I feel.
He's
a really interesting cat now.
Yeah, he's a very interesting person. At this point, it's that song you said is your favorite part of the movie.
Oh my God, the soft jam. It's my least favorite part of the movie. It's my least favorite part of the soundtrack, and it's my least favorite part of any pop rap at all. Because it always sounds the same to me.
Oh,
every time I hear a slow jam rap song, girl, like I was like, come on, dude.
I was hanging out with Kathy at the construction site.
Find a thesaurus. Girl is under G. I'll wait. Yeah, I've never been a fan of the slow jam.
It's not good, but I couldn't stop laughing. It was just so like
that's fair.
Ridiculously out of nowhere. Because before this they played
like an RKO.
Hey, got another one. Because before this they played like a slower, not like a slower song, but like kind of a romantic song, and then this one was just like diving in, like we're in now.
And this is when they're having a little montage, and he's like teaching her to ride the bike, and they're riding around, and he doesn't have his shirt and stuff on. I'm like, he is an unfit, lumpy individual.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying I'm not going to be on the cover of GQ anytime soon, but you would think that they would have gotten him like a personal trainer. It's like, you're going to have some shirtless scenes. You need to look fit.
I feel like it's because of when they filmed it.
Okay.
I feel like it's because they started filming it at the peak of his fame. And as they were filming it, it just dwindled and dwindled and dwindled, and he cared less and less and less.
I did enjoy at the end of that montage where normally you would have like a soft kiss or an embrace. They've got like this good game walk, like side hug going on.
Oh, they do make out though at the end of this.
Yeah.
She says, I would like to do something that I've never gotten to do before. And when they make out, I'm like, wait, you've never kissed a guy, or you just never kissed Vanilla Ice? And did you notice, this was like maybe a small thing, but when they kiss, he has an audible like,
Yes, I did. I actually noted that.
That was disturbing.
Well, what is more disturbing is when Kathy goes home, and she's confronted by her father, Michael Gross, who has said, "I saw him with his friends, and I don't want you hanging around their type." And I'm like, oh, now he looks like a racist. Which I'm surprised they didn't pick up on or do anything with at all in the movie.
Well, you're claiming this film has some sort of awareness.
You know what? I feel that they're, considering the way he said it, I think there might have been something where they were trying to make him out to look like that, but it just got cut because, again, like, so few people cared and his popularity was so much in the toilet. They were like, we need to wrap this because the studio is bleeding money because of it.
$6 million don't get recouped overnight, guys.
Nope. So let's wrap this up as quickly as possible and just shovel it out into the world.
Well, and we find out at this point, too, the dad says that Dick is in the hospital.
Yes, because
I was like,
of the beating apparently Vanilla Ice gave him.
I didn't know he hospitalized him.
The one-man beating that
Oh,
Vanilla Ice
God.
gave. I also want to know how has Michael Gross not called the town on his neighbors across the street who apparently have a fucking spotlight in their yard and just shine it at his house constantly?
Yeah, well, you know, he doesn't want to be intrusive. Witness protection, got to lay low.
There were several times when, Vanilla Ice was like, it was there in the evening, and it was just the brightest light coming from across the street, and I was like, "Oh my god, there's some poor lighting choices going on there." We get another. I guess we get another. Was it another brief montage? Because the secretary from Greece is doing some dancing.
Oh yeah, she's getting down.
Yeah, and then for no reason we go back to Michael Gross giving his witness protection story.
Oh yeah, and it's a very like after school special.
Yes,
the way he tells his daughter about the whole witness protection thing.
And I'm sorry, I want to see his movie, like his before he went into witness relocation movie, because it sounds infinitely more interesting than this movie.
Oh, 1000%.
Yeah.
But yeah, he tells her and he tells her about like about how Vanilla Ice, like he saw him talking to the mafia dudes, and essentially without saying it, she basically says, "Dad, he's too stupid to be in the mafia."
She's not wrong.
Yeah.
This was the point where I said that this was where, like, in any other movie, like, Michael Gross would have been rising to the occasion to defend his family, a la, Death Wish or Rambo Last Blood.
Oh, that would have been quite a twist.
Yes.
Wait, but not... At least this movie wasn't as racist as Rambo Last Blood.
No, I suppose that's fair.
Although there's some dicey moments.
Yeah.
So after this... Vanilla Ice comes by to pick up Kathy again, but she's like, "No, I can't hang out with you." She basically says like, "How do I know you don't say this to every girl?" Like she essentially accuses him of being a man whore.
Yes.
And of course, because of all that, it's time for another montage, a contemplative montage.
So many montages. Doesn't this montage start with essentially him saying, "Whatever, you don't know me"?
Yeah.
I was like, oh my god, uttered by every bit of white trash that ever graced a Jerry Springer stage.
You don't know me.
Whatever. I know how to flip houses. What do you do? Whatever, you don't know me.
Oh my god. Yeah, and by the way, Kathy lives a nightmare life because not only does she have that dude, I'm just gonna call him Dick. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's what everybody else calls him.
Not only is like this dick in her life, but her friends
Dick in her life.
Her friends are awful too.
Yeah, well, they're pretty terrible.
Because they're like, well, maybe if you go see Dick in the hospital and just like apologize.
Well, he's calling me right now. Actually, I'm gonna ask him about it. Hello. Yeah. No, I think we're treating you pretty fairly. No, what do you mean? No, because later on you just straight up no. You know what? No. Good day, sir. Good day. You lose. Good day.
What a dick.
What a dick. God. Anyhow. Whew.
So, thanks a lot, Dick.
Yeah, right?
Shit Kid goes to visit Vanilla Ice, and he's like, check out my hair.
Oh, my God. He's sitting on an outside couch. not like an outdoor patio couch, but like just like a couch that you would find in somebody's living room, which has now been placed outside.
Oh, well, this is a thing I've unfortunately seen before many times being in a university town.
We call them syphilis couches.
Yeah, it's not something I would do, but unfortunately I've seen it, and then they like to just burn them on the street, so that's fun.
Oh, I never did that. I did. We did have one for the longest time when I was in university, like you said.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but yeah, he's like, because Vanilla Ice basically goes, or he tells Vanilla Ice, yeah, I did my hair, I did it myself, and he's like, yeah, I can tell. Fuck you, Vanilla Ice. Like your hair looks any better.
Oh, Jesus. The hair, the eyebrow, and his hair gets less and less tight, as the kids say, as the movie goes on.
It does. I also noticed. So I found this out that this movie is not even PG-13. Like it's just PG. Yeah. Which kind of surprised me. Especially because in this scene where he agrees to give the kid a ride. The kid,
he straight up kidnaps him.
Well, he does, and he also,
so there's another crime to go on the list.
He also flips the bird at Dick.
Oh well, I mean that's why it didn't get PG-13 because Dick deserved it.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like the middle finger would push it over the edge. I mean, you can't even see that in WWE these days, and that's supposed to be PG. So.
Well, you know what they say about the MPAA. It's garbage.
Yeah, it doesn't. It's not consistent whatsoever.
Nope.
I mean, I just saw a movie the other day from like the late 80s, so PG-13 had well been established. It was PG-13, and there were 4 F-bombs.
There you go. I also feel in this situation, though, so submitted this to the MPAA, and they were like, Vanilla Ice is in this? Just PG. Get the fuck out of here. I don't want to watch that.
Yeah. Jack doesn't want to watch it. But yeah, he kidnaps him. You're right. He shit kidnaps him. Yep. And then shit kid gets shit kidnapped again.
Although that kid is smart enough to wear a helmet.
Yeah.
Do you notice that nobody in his bike gang wears a helmet?
Nah, that's not for real, dog.
Right. So the kid goes home. He does before the kid gets kidnapped. Vanilla Ice does a little more B&E. And kills her fish by throwing that ring in her fish tank or fish bowl.
Okay, that was weird for another reason too, because when that kid gets kidnapped and the ring is in the bowl, I'm like, wouldn't that look like you did it and that's your calling card?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, girl, you're not going to take me back. I'm going to take your fucking brother.
And again, this is where the movie did better than Evil Bong because this kid actually played Tecmo Bowl. So, there you go. I thought it was great that doesn't the kid tries to call 911.
Why do they wait till he gets someone on the line?
But that's just it. Like I was like, "Oh, come on, please make it. Please make the joke. Please make the joke. Please, please, please." And they never do. Absolutely, that kid could have been like, 911's a joke in this town, and then throws the phone. Public Enemy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I do think it's weird that they waited for him to get someone on the line, though.
Yeah. Hello?
Just pull the line before he dials it, dumbass. Because I know, based on experience, because apparently I did this when I was very young and didn't know what was going on. I dialed 911 just for funsies and then hung up the phone immediately, and officers showed up to the house.
Yes, because contrary to popular belief, you don't have to keep the person on the line for 2 minutes to trace a call.
No.
Especially if there's no call blocking going on like there would be in this case, right? There's no call blocking going on here. So as soon as that kid dialed into 911, it would immediately populate the phone number and where that phone number is located.
Yep. But back at the cartoon repair shop.
Oh no, before that, why does it take so long for 911 to pick up? How big is this town? I mean, how rampant with crime? I suppose they do have a rogue gardener making giant butt plugs on Main Street.
So it's some sort of like perverted Edward Scissorhands?
I guess, yeah.
I want to see that movie. That's just the porn parody of Edward Scissorhands.
That would be Edward Penis Hands.
Yeah.
Which is a real porn parody.
Wait, what?
Yep.
All right, coming next week. Listener's Choice Month is over.
Edward Penis Hands.
That's not even clever. You're like, I don't know what it would be, but come on.
Because that's what I did. That's what I tune into pornography for. The cerebral mind workout. That's what that's what I tune in for.
Come on, where's my hairy twatter? Where's the penis? Come on, help me out here, guys.
We get another montage for some reason.
Sorry, I just want to say one more porn title.
Okay.
When I was in the States, I was at the Virgin Mobile Megastore, and back when that was a thing. One of the pornography titles was "Come on My Tattoo 5." All right, that's a very specific fetish. And by the way, their pornography section was directly outside the women's washroom. You tell me that wasn't intentional.
How does the Virgin Megastore have a pornography section?
It did. I was weird. Shocked as you are. This is right in Times Square, tourist central.
Oh, that makes sense, actually. Times Square used to be a huge porn central.
Oh, but this is like the new Times Square. Like, this wasn't that long ago. I mean, I guess it was like 12 years ago, but still.
Yes, but I mean, you got to maintain, some of the perverts who are still coming there if you want to get that clientele returning to your store.
There was a peep show at Old Times Square, and I'll just say this. Many of the people with us did go in. I wanted to, but I didn't.
Yeah, it was probably just a bunch of VHS tapes running on a loop, because that's essentially what ours were when I worked in Vancouver.
Ah, fuck. Kathy is very sad.
She is.
But she doesn't realize her brother is kidnapped, I think.
Right. Because they haven't got the... Oh, no, she does, because this is where I got... he essentially... Vanilla Ice essentially gives them the ransom tape.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because it's like there's a tape like mailed to them, and he comes to the door and he's like, oh, by the way, this is yours. Makes it look like he's giving it to them.
And when they for some reason, when they put the tape in and play it, they have to add like a ton of cartoon sounds.
What?
Because when they put the tape in, it was like boom, bang, boom. Like them pressing play was like boom. And then it played. And when they stopped and when they pressed stop and eject, it was like bang, boom. It's like, what the fuck is that?
The Foley guys were drunk when they did this scene.
Clearly.
But yeah, the tape is basically just like, you got to give them their money or they're going to murder me, essentially.
Yeah, he says something to the effect of, I'm here and having a good time, and I won't be coming back home. But if you decide to give your friends the money you owe them, I will be glad to come back home.
I mean, it's better.
But if you don't, I won't.
It's better acting than most of the people in this movie.
That's fair, especially Vanilla Ice. Oh my God, some of the fucking delivery that guy gave.
He's the most unnatural actor ever.
Oh, just terrible.
Some musicians can do it, others should not.
And it's not like this character was much of a stretch. I mean, he's essentially just saying lines as himself.
Yeah. But
still, it comes across as stilted and God. Up next on Vanilla Ice, CSI.
Oh, I have Columbo Ice.
Oh.
Yeah, because Kathy goes to see Vanilla Ice and she's like, look at this tape that they sent with my brother's been kidnapped. And he's
that's because Nick said he saw her brother with him earlier and is basically implying that, he totally did kidnap your little brother.
Yeah, because the kid flipped me off, so he looked very distressed.
Yeah.
So they play the tape and Vanilla Ice is doing this like, hold on, rewind that. Hold on, stop, rewind. Collaborate and listen. He does it 1,800 times.
Yes.
And then he's like, you hear that thumping sound? That's the construction site. I'm like, what are you talking about?
No, she remembers that.
Oh, okay.
He's like, yeah, that's right. And they're like, but like regulators, mount up.
I know that's like where it is, but holy shit, that's a stretch. This is not like a 2010s movie where they can like put it into a fucking audio program and boost part of the audio.
Can we isolate that? Now pull it up.
Yeah.
Now clean it up a little bit.
They don't have Shane West's program that he has in his room and whatever it takes.
Right. Oh.
But yeah, they go there.
They go there, and the kid's being held there, and the guys who are holding him are idiots. And they're like, "Oh, the Martians have landed. Are they the lead Martians? Follow us, we're the Martians." I'm like, these guys are the worst kidnappers, and they are not taking any of this seriously.
No, he's like shining a flashlight at the kid as if it's like a lightsaber.
Right, and he's just waving it all around like, I'm sorry, that is drawing way more attention than you want.
And you already know that Vanilla Ice and his guys are right outside.
Yep.
He already looked outside and saw them.
Mm-hmm. And so they sneakily take off and make them think that they're gone, and then they just randomly crash through a wall and save the kid
with no issues whatsoever.
None whatsoever.
Kick their asses.
I think Vanilla Ice conservatively takes 3 punches in this entire movie,
and recovers immediately.
Yes, because he's the Crow.
Oh my God! There's that sequel. But they do. They get the kid, the shit kid, and tie up the bad guys, including I think the lead bad guy. I thought they had a third guy that they brought back. Maybe not.
No, there was only the 2 bad guys.
Oh, okay. But they bring them back, and Family Ties comes over, and he's like, "Hey, you know what? I had you wrong, so thanks." And Vanilla Ice is like, "Doesn't really matter." And then makes sure he tells Kathy, "Yo, college doesn't start tonight, so let's GO."
Oh my God, that
isn't it quicker just to fucking say go?
Go. There's fewer syllables involved.
So Dick is all, "You gonna leave me for this punk?" And she's like, "Peace, Dick."
Mm-hmm.
And then Vanilla Ice drives away, but then stops. Collaborates, then listens. Yeah. And drives over Dick's car like a ramp.
So again, more driving with undue care and destruction of personal property.
Oh, and there's cops right there too.
Yeah.
But nothing happens, of course.
No.
And then they drive off, and we finish.
She goes to another video shoot / day rave.
Yeah, another video shoot in a fucking empty warehouse. And I'm pretty sure this whole song is just an MC Hammer Slam.
Well, there's that. He's wearing like this button-up that looks like a button-up Power Rangers outfit. And there's one point where he talks about all the different girls he's had. And I'm like, is she even listening to the lyrics that he's laying down?
So she's right. He is a man whore.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's cool as ice.
It's cool as ice.
It's a fucking wild ride.
Yep.
Nathan, do you think people need to watch this thing?
Yep.
I gotta say the same. This movie is terrible. Like, don't get us wrong. I think we can both agree this is a really bad movie.
But it needs to be beheld to believe.
Yeah. It absolutely needs to be experienced. It's like I said, it's a wild fucking ride. It's nothing you expect. You expect like a vanity project for a musician to be kind of stupid and whatever. This is, I guarantee you, you'll be blown away.
Yes.
I don't know what happened. Drugs, I'm assuming.
There's that, and also the rampant decrease of his popularity due to the rise of grunge music.
It's almost like you can watch the decrease during the course of the film.
Almost.
But we are going to take a brief siesta, and we will be right back.
What were they thinking?
What Were They Thinking is brought to you by HostGator. HostGator is a leading provider of shared, reseller, VPS, and dedicated hosting solutions. Award-winning support is available 24/7, 365 days a year via phone, email, and live chat. Discover why over 9 million websites trust HostGator. Use the coupon code Schlock for 25% off your first purchase. That's Schlock, SCHLOCK, for 25% off your first purchase.
What Were They Thinking is brought to you today by GameItAll.com. Whether it's video game news, the latest in music, or movie reviews, GameItAll.com is your one-stop shop for all nerdy talk.
What were they thinking?
Wake up from your siesta, Nathan.
What?
Whoa. Take it down.
Sorry, that happens when you're roused from a good siesta.
Agreed. Nathan, what is it time for?
It is time for the low haiku.
Care to describe what that is?
Well, the low haiku is 17 syllables to describe the cinematic masterpiece which we have just discussed for a little over an hour.
Okay, I'll start us off here.
Okay.
Witness protection? Dumb little dance sequences. Sexual assault? At least attempted. That Ice Cube thing was weird.
Unsettling.
Yes.
Robert Van Winkle. On par with Olivier. Zeke Olivier.
I was a little scared until the end. As a famous Olivier would say, this shit is piss.
Yes.
Oh, stop!
Collaborate and listen.
Because it's now time for...
Don't take a word for it.
Yeah, folks, don't. Although this is a lopsided affair a little bit, but I feel like it's one of those movies where people think they're hilarious.
Yeah.
When they post positive reviews of. You know what I mean? It's like that thing where it's like a Megaforce situation, right? Where you're like,
I'm being ironic.
Yeah, exactly. Well, the critics, 7% of the critics gave this a positive review, whereas the audience side of things, we got 44%.
Yeah.
It is almost fresh.
Almost.
It's close. It's about 16% away. Not about, exactly. So let's get into these reviews here on Rotten Tomatoes from the critics first. We got Stephen Holden from the New York Times who says, the lifeless music and dance sequences in which the rapper performs with his crew have the feel of low-budget video clips that have been inserted almost by mistake.
David Newser from Real Film Reviews writes, ... a best forgotten relic of the 90s, ...
Oh.
I'm sure there's more in the full review, but
no, that's it. Luke Y. Thompson from the New Times says, the most brilliantly insane pop star movie ever, lensed by Spielberg regular Janusz Kaminski and loaded with stylistic strangeness. Ice rules. Rules! And that's not an audience review. Just want to point that out.
Mike McGarniga.
Oh.
I don't know how it's pronounced.
It's a mouthful.
It's McGargan.
Yes.
Anyway, he works for Aisle Seat. And he wrote, so bad it's borderline fascinating. There's no borderline about it. Pretty fucking fascinating.
Yeah, for sure. Daniel Barnes of Dare Daniel says, the artist formerly known as Robert Van Winkle plays Johnny Van Owen, a charmless, disgusting, misogynist, and talentless performer. It's quite literally the part he was born to play.
Well, TV Guide wrote, favorite lines, drop that zero and get with the hero. You live your life for someone else, you ain't living.
Oh, I forgot about that one. Words of wisdom from Vanilla Ice. Shall we dive into the pit?
Yes, let's.
All right. Let's go into the
Not
audience.
the fun mosh pit type.
No. But Thrasher might be there.
Okay.
The audience reviews. Let's see here. Let's go with Just D.
Just Dick?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Just I believe I'm sure he teamed up with Just Joe back in the late 90s in WWE.
Yeah.
That's a deep cut. There we go.
Yeah, it is.
He gives it 1.5 stars, actually. And he says, The fact that this movie got made is one of the most impressive things to ever happen.
Oh my goodness. Well, John J., which I assume is short for John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt.
Of course, his name is my name too.
Uh-huh. And when you go out, do people always shout?
They do.
Oh, there goes John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt?
Yeah, that's what I hear.
Okay. So he gave it a half star.
Oh.
And wrote, worst movie I ever saw. Even worse than the Neil Breen ones. It's a whole movie of Vanilla Ice kissing his own ass.
I mean, more poorly made than the Neil Breen movies? I don't know about that.
I think he just means this, maybe as far as like acting and story wise, because at least this did have some production value to it.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
and some lighting.
But you know what this didn't have, Nathan? A guy sitting at a table spilling lettuce all over the desk,
or telling his friend he couldn't help him out of this one because he killed himself,
or someone retiring as president of the bank.
Goodbye.
Love that movie. James R. Ooh, I'm assuming James Remar.
It has to be.
Says 5 stars. A remarkably delightful and poignant dramedy. Vanilla Ice turns in a tour de force performance.
Yeah, he's going for the yucks. Fondil M gave the movie 5 stars and simply wrote, Vanilla Ice getting that money! $sign, 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 $sign.
Okay, I've got one here from Cody C. And I wasn't going to include it because I thought they were just being ridiculous, but he stresses that he's not being ironic. It says, you're going to think I'm being ironic or whatever by giving this 5 stars, but I'm serious. This is one of the greatest films ever made. There is no other movie like it. It's a fucking avant-garde pop Dadaist masterpiece. If you're into Lynch, Makavejev, Herzog, you need to see this. Not kidding at all. 5 stars.
Just compare this to David Lynch and Werner Herzog.
Sure did.
Oh, wow. Some words you can't take back.
Nope. Those are in the ether now.
Yeah. Well, Tommy W. Which
oh shit!
I assume it has to be him.
Oh my god, this movie is not as good as my movie. Come see the room.
Well, in fairness, he gave it 1 star.
Buy watches on my website.
And right, I almost feel sorry for Vanilla Ice XD. I'm assuming it's supposed to be the emoticon for like the clenched eyes while laughing out loud.
I could hear him saying XD though.
XD?
Or in that case, I guess he'd be like, ha 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 ha. This is, I guess, my last one here. It's from Jace H. He says, oh my god, this is bad, but to be honest, it is bad, that good, stupid, yes, bad pretty much. Great for jokes, you bet. So in my opinion, it deserves at least 3.5, 2.5 stars.
Wait, what?
I think his brain exploded.
It must have. The last one I got is from Michael S. He gave it 1 star and wrote, on the good film scale, it's just awful. But on the entertainment scale, it's amazing. It's so gloriously bad, it's hilarious, and that means a half star in my book. So he was only going to give it a half a star, but because it was so balls out entertaining, he gave it a full 1 star.
I was hoping you were going to say, but in terms of the entertainment, it's also awful.
The first time I ever watched this movie was on late night television.
Oh, really?
It was on like a midnight movie on ASN way back in the day.
Oh shit, ASN.
Yeah, the Atlantic Satellite Network.
That's a blast from the past.
Right? They used to show movies, every night at midnight for some reason. I don't know why. But this was back, of course, before we had a gazillion channels to choose from. But they had a movie at 8 and a movie at midnight. And the movies at 8 were always like the AAA stuff, like Back to the Future would be on at 8. But at midnight, it was always either like horror or just absolute schlock. And because of those late night horror movie / schlock viewings, I got to see Aliens for the first time and this movie for the first time.
Oh wow, Aliens legitimately great to show at a midnight show. Yeah. You know what? You kids today, you don't know what it's like to have to watch the Superstation for 4 hours just to watch Dumb and Dumber. Okay.
Right. And you and your VODs and your PVRs and your Netflix.
Yeah, and your Primes and your Hulus.
Tubies. Go to bed, old man.
Yeah. You want to do anything today? No, Dumb and Dumber starts at 4 o'clock, so maybe we can hang out at midnight. Oh, the Superstation. Remember Dinner and a Movie?
Yes, I remember Dinner and a Movie.
Beans
I remember
and coffee.
The Drambuie Showcase review.
Oh, I remember watching some Joe Bob Briggs too back in the day.
Oh, he's back on Shudder now. They're doing the drive-in. It's on Shudder,
and they're live. He broadcasts live.
Yes.
So there you go, guys. If you want to watch Joe Bob Briggs, but at this point again, we say normally we give out a hint as to what's coming next week, but we're in a listener's choice month, so we already laid out kind of what's coming up this month. So we'll just announce it next week. We are talking about the disaster of a film, 1998's Godzilla.
Yes, the one with Matthew Broderick.
Yep. Not the decent one with Bryan Cranston and Kick-Ass.
Right.
But yeah, so we're going to talk about that with, of course, almost the entire cast of The Simpsons is in it, so we'll get into that as well. But until then, Nathan...
Keep fit and have fun. Oh. Body break.
Is Hal Johnson or Joanne McLeod there to say a few words?
Unfortunately, they are not. She is off brushing his glorious Tom Selleck-esque mustache, and as we both know, that is a 3-hour job.
A 3-hour job. God, we are just alienating every person that's under like 20 years old.
Who are they talking about?
What? What streaming platform is that on?
ASN is
ASN? But yeah, Montrose.
Just a second, I'll get.
All right.
Hello, it's your good friend Montrose Minkington III here, and I'd just like to say kudos to you chaps for braving such a cinematic disaster piece as cool as ice. I say no thank you. I'm British and my films should be sensible, like Life Force. I would like to invite you to check out my YouTube channel, Montrose Minkington TV, as well as my Facebook group, Montrose Minkington III Esquire and Friends. And if you are so enticed by both of those, you may tweet at me on the Twitter at Montrose III. That's the number 3. RD. I haven't been keeping up with it lately, but if you do send me something, I will eventually send something back to you. Thank you! Or later.
Montrose, we were good until you said the Life Force thing.
Oh, were you? Okay.
I like the first 20 minutes of that movie, and that's it.
Oh, well, that's it's not for everyone, just like this movie.
Well, thank you once again.
Oh, well, yes, absolutely. It was my pleasure.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. And yours.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Toodaloo.
It was. He says, so long, thank you, more later.
There he is. But you know what? You can find us on every podcatcher. Any podcatcher out there, I'm sure you'll find us. Just search for What Were They Thinking. Of course, our home base is www.ttpodcast.podbean.com. You can find us on Twitter and Instagram at www.ttpodcast. Just search for us on Facebook, What Were They Thinking. We also have a Facebook group, What Were They Thinking Interactive, where you can talk directly to us. You can talk to us on the page too, but just more interactive in the group. We're also on Patreon at patreon.com/WWTT podcast. If you sign up today, I'm gonna set a date now, Nathan. I'm gonna lay it down. If you sign up today for Patreon, let's say till the end of the summer. So let's say not technically the end of the summer, but let's say till the end of August. If you sign up for Patreon, you will automatically get a movie pick that we will cover on the show, regardless of what tier you sign up for. If you sign up for a tier that you already get a movie pick anyway, you know what? We'll give you 2. 2 in back-to-back succession. So how's that?
How do they make any money?
How do you like them apples? I think that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
So Nathan, do you? I mean, I don't know how you could, but
I don't think I could. I mean, I'm not sure how I could either. But considering I was probably a bigger Vanilla Ice fan when this came out, were you even existing at that time?
I was very young.
Okay.
I only saw this movie for the first time about 3-4 years ago.
Okay.
So, but do you have? But I mean, do you have any questions anyway?
I do, because it's not necessarily so much about the happenings in this movie.
What? No.
As far as the story and whatnot goes, but some of maybe the logic.
Okay.
So I mean, in a movie where Vanilla Ice is the leader of the pack, if you will. And manages to go to a town that has topiary butt plugs along their main street, and commits several crimes without any sort of repercussions whatsoever by the local authorities, state, or federal authorities. I really need to know, as far as those authorities go.
Yeah.
What were they thinking?
Like movies.
I heard you like to hustle.
I heard you like podcasts.
Well, guess what?
There's a podcast for you out there called The Home Video Hustle.
Damn right.
Every Friday we talk about whatever movie PJ picks out the bag. What does that mean? Every Wednesday on our YouTube page, I put a bunch of movies in a bag, and PJ picks one out at random. And then we just watch it. We talk about it for maybe like an hour and a half, 2 hours, whatever we feel like doing, wherever the conversation leads us.
But do we actually talk about the movie?
Most of the time. Tangents galore.
Yes.
So believe me, we may be a movie podcast, but it's not always about movies. We might talk about video games, music. Yeah, that's the big one, music. Sometimes we might get a little bit of politicalness in there.
Yes.
Sometimes we may just, we know what we like to do. We like to tell stories, PJ.
Yes.
I am the master storyteller of the podcast realm. Undefeated. So if you like to hear about movies, video games, whatever foolishness comes to our mind, the most random stuff you could think of, check out the Home Video Hustle. You can find us on the Stitchers, the Google Play, Apple Podcasts,
what else?
Podbean,
what else?
Podcast Addict,
goddamn,
all that. Ain't no reason you can't get your hustle on. We everywhere, worldwide, baby.
Hustle, motherfucking hustle.
Hey, we can't cuss in the promo, PJ. We gotta be family friendly. There may be podcasts out there that don't want his hair say all that good fun stuff.
Well, you.
Don't run the listeners away, PJ.
I'm sorry.
But this is going kind of long.
Yes.
So we'll end this and say, hey, check out the Home Video Hustle every Friday on all the various podcast outlets. Peace.